Hello everyone. I want to start this week by talking about the Chauvin trial. The verdict held Chauvin accountable, but justice was not served for George Floyd nor his family. The verdict will not bring George Floyd back to life or make his family whole. If this tragic event and resulting trial has taught us anything, it is that we still have much work to do today regarding law enforcement reform and reimagining public safety. Here in Montgomery County, we're moving forward with a comprehensive review of how we hire, how we train, and how we police. We've established policies that clearly define expected practices, banning chokeholds, changing the rules on no-knock warrants, and implementing a duty to intervene so that it's clear that no county officer will do what happened in Minneapolis, where officers sworn to protect the community stood by as another officer spent 9 minutes ending the life of George Floyd. This is our movement and our moment to institute significant institutional changes that will benefit all of our residents, rebuild confidence in our police, and restore the morale of our officers. We began that work before the tragic George Floyd incident. Our work is continuing, and we are committed to ensuring an equitable outcome for everyone. I also want to note that today is Earth Day, another reminder of our climate emergency. If it weren't for the COVID-19 pandemic, climate change would have been the natural disaster headline of the year, the decade, and the century. COVID-19 pandemic has presented an unprecedented challenge to residents and businesses in Montgomery County, and the work of moving us to a safe place has consumed more than a year, but there is an end in sight. Our county's climate emergency is another unprecedented challenge that we must tackle. It will require our focus for years to come if we are to minimize the damage it will do to future generations. We were working on it before the pandemic. We've continued to move forward during the pandemic, and will keep on after the pandemic with both small steps and big steps. We did not wait for the plan to be completed to take action because we had already identified actionable steps that we could take. We have purchased our first electric and zero-emission vehicles, and we will flip the county's fleet to zero emissions as quickly as we can. The county is adding more electric vehicle charging stations around the county, and we have a pilot program in residential neighborhoods allowing curbside chargers. And we are converting a closed landfill to a solar site to produce clean energy. We've implemented flash bus service on Route 29 and are moving forward with 2 more routes on Veers Mill Road and Route 355 in order to get people out of their cars and into public transportation. We are also making it easier for people to walk, bike, and scooter with a network of bikeway facilities, including protected bike lanes and more and better sidewalks. We've sent to the County Council 2 major pieces of legislation to improve the energy performance of our existing buildings and to set higher standards for new construction. The building sector uses an enormous amount of energy, dirty energy primarily, and we need to reduce the amount of energy it consumes while moving to clean energy sources. And with the recent passage of state legislation to allow community choice energy, we will be moving towards widespread use of clean energy throughout the county. Now we're reviewing the public comments regarding our draft climate action plan to incorporate further revisions, and that plan will lay out the path forward to achieve our climate goals. The scale of the climate emergency requires us to take action, and we are. Climate change is an existential threat to our lives. It was before the pandemic, and that has not changed. As for COVID-19, I wanted to let you know our COVID case rate is remaining steady. We are about 9.31 per 100K in terms of cases. We continue to remain much lower than the rest of the state and the region. Our rates are low because our residents and businesses have complied with the restrictions and have been following the best practices. You deserve the credit for what we've been able to do. We are developing a plan now to bring to the council that will begin more reopening if our cases remain lower and our vaccine supplies continue to increase. So I want to end on this note. Everyone 16 and over is eligible to get vaccinated, so please register for your shot and get one as soon as possible. Also, please get tested, especially if you're out often in public or believe you may have been in close contact with someone who has COVID-19. Testing helps us see where cases are highest so we can direct resources to stop the spread of the virus. And it helps us monitor the presence of virus variants in the community so we can respond rapidly when needed. And finally, as I said, our COVID case numbers are slowly going down because we're doing all of the right things. We are wearing masks and physically distancing. Let's continue following the CDC recommendations. They have gotten us a long way toward recovery. We are getting there together. Thank you.